Have a great show lined up for you. I'm your host, Kim Jacobs, better known as the Balance Doctor. And all of our guests that come on, they're either people that have overcome some tremendous odds in their own lives as they balance this thing called life, or they're experts and they're here to share tips and strategies that will help you better balance and manage your life. Grab your virtual seats and let's get ready for some real relevant and relatable content on today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show, where we have with us today, y'all. Let me just give proper credit where credit is due and honor is due. Y'all, I don't know if y'all are as excited as I am, but I'm excited because we have with us the elements of inspiration and Philly's favor. Brother Marcus. How are you, Brother Marcus?
I'm good. How are you today, Miss Jacobs? How's everything?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing even better now that you are officially here in the studio audience with me. I know that you do a lot of audio podcasts.
Yes.
But you know goodness well that you look mighty stunning over there to be hidden behind just a audio broadcast. So you need to come on out. And let the world
right? Well, I appreciate that. I really do. Coming from you, hey, I'll take it.
I'm really, really glad to have you. And I think that we're going to have a great discussion. As we already talked about it, it's really just a conversation. We don't have anything that's so scripted that it's like, is this is the next phase. We're going to just talk and give people a chance to learn more about Brother Marcus.
Yes.
Where it all really began for you. So let me formally introduce you because I think that's slightly important and very important for us to make sure people know who you are. Brother, can I use your formal government name?
It's fine. I got no warrants, no criminal records. So yeah, we go.
Well, you good to go. Good to go. Marcus Cleavon. Am I saying it right? Cleavon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cleavon Smith, known to the world as Brother Marcus, is one of the most dynamic and inspirational voices of our time. Literally a true agent of change whose mission is to uplift, to empower, to ignite transformation in every life that he touches. And I literally can endorse this, that no matter where you see Brother Marcus, your life will never be the same again. That's not in his bio, y'all. That's Kim saying, okay? But he has over 20 years on the airwaves in the tri-state area. And Brother Marcus has become a trusted voice of hope, healing, and purpose. He is the creator and host of the Elements of Inspiration podcast and the founder of the Elements of Inspiration record company. He delivers messages of encouragement that go way beyond anything to do with airways. And so really you're just having a movement when you experience Brother Marcus. He's also a celebrated author, and I'm not going to read all of the bio because if I do that, then you don't get a chance to hear personally his story beyond the mic. So I just want to say welcome here to the Kim Jacobs Show, Brother Mike.
Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate you. I mean, you could have been doing a lot of other things with your time. So as we say in the church, I don't feel it as robbery.
I don't count this as robbery to be in your
that part.
You know, we have all the good sayings in the church, right?
Yeah, even when I mess them up.
That's funny because I was thinking about the fact that's probably a great place to even just start, because talking about the church is one thing to be in the church, but then you've really taken everything beyond the church and use your airways as a platform for ministry. Mm-hmm. So talk to me from your perspective as to how this all even really began for you.
Ooh, well, let me just back up. I'll just start from when I got saved. I'd rather just start there, you know.
Okay, saved, sanctified, and definitely include filled with the Holy Ghost. Okay.
One of them might be missing, but
okay, so you're a comedian for sure. Yeah, let me let you talk.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Well, I remember when we first came back, we came from New York City, we came to Jersey. There was a lady that lived adjacent to us. Her name was Miss Newman, who I will never forget. She introduced me to the Lord, and it was on July 13th, 1979. It was a Friday the 13th, believe it or not.
Okay.
And I remember her daughter, Erica, was trying to get us to, to come to the, like the Bible study for kids and all of this. We were young. And I, you know, we didn't have much, so I was like, I ain't trying to go there. But then they said they had like candy and sweet treats and Kool-Aid. So you know, I was out.
That's it. I'm there.
Yeah, so I was able to get full twice. I got full with the snacks and all of that, but I had my, encounter with the Lord. So that was way back in 1979, so I'd never forget it. But that's where everything started for me, where I started to see life from a different perspective as a child,
Wow. And what age were you around in that time frame?
Oh, wow. Let me see. I was 8 years old. Eight or nine. I don't think 8 years old. Yeah, back in 1979. It was like 8, I think. Yeah, something like that.
So it sounds like then back in the day, at the age of 8, it was the bait of just a treat that drew you into the house of the Lord, and it was transformative once you actually got there. So sometimes we have to use some creative measures to get people to even understand and open up their heart to hear and receive what God has for them.
Absolutely. I believe like lots of times, or all the time, we need to meet people where they are.
Right.
We need to meet them at their need. And if we can meet that need, then we can introduce them to, who the Lord is and what the Lord will do for your life. But a lot of times we miss a lot of our young people because we're not meeting the needs. We're trying to, you're going to die and go to hell. It's hell and damnation and all of that kind of stuff. And that kind of stuff, if you're not helping me with my need, you can't feed me in any kind of way, spiritually. So I just try to take a different approach and just understand folks from where they are.
I love that. I love meet people where they are. And anybody in the studio audience, if you have the same sentiments, share your philosophies on this. Meet people where they are. If they're saying they're hungry, they don't need you to come out and say, well, you need to do this and taking these steps whenever they need to be fed first so that their bellies are full to be able to even hear the word.
You got to meet the need.
Find the need and feel the need, meet the need. And I was often told about a radio station, WIIFM, what's in it for me?
Yeah.
No, we talking radio here, so that's why I thought WIIFM, what's in it for me? If they don't understand what's in it for them, how it's going to benefit them, then how can we even get to the next phase of what God is trying to do using us as the vehicles for change?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, one of the other things that I learned, is there anything like from your childhood that outside of that experience that may have stood out to you that really helped shape who you are today as well?
Yeah. My mother, God rest her soul. My mother, she would always allow me to be who I was. I was always very silly, very funny as a child. And she never, shut me up, so to speak. But put it in context, she used to say, don't cut no monkey shine when I'm gone, when she would go out or whatever the case is. So at a very young age, I knew when to, act out and be funny and then when to shut up. And so, you learn that. So that's kind of helped develop me as I begin to, grow and get into the things that I'm into right now.
Well, I love that. I love that advice, even because some parents, you have children that all of my children, I have 5 children, one is in heaven, but the 4 that are here on this earth, they are so different from each other, complete opposite ends of the spectrum. So that's, again, falling right in that theory of finding that need and filling it and meeting the person where how they need to be loved. So you were a comedian, funny, and your mom allowed you to explore that side of yourself.
Yeah. All the time. She used to tell me when I was younger, she said, Marcus, you need to go to Hollywood, but I don't want to go to Hollywood. We'll leave that right there, Okay. I said, I'm good right where I am, mama, But like yourself, I have, a lot of children as well. And I'm actually one of, there's 6 of us. Okay. One of my siblings is gone. I have no brothers. I have all sisters. And, even in my life, I have 9 children.
Okay.
So I have 7 daughters and 2 sons.
7 daughters, 2 sons. Okay. And I don't have a picture of the whole family. So that's.
Yeah. You can't put it up. You got to protect them,
Right. Yeah. Like if they're anything like my children, they're like, Mom, can you please? You keep us on social media all the time. Can you please? And you know what? Funny thing is, I have a call coming in right now from Les Brown. I should answer. Say,
I met him a few times. Hey, Les.
Oh, hold on. Les, you actually calling in the middle of my show, right? And
It's
I'm
all
on with no. Let me tell you, I'm on with Brother Marcus, and you're on live right now. So I'm with Brother Marcus, Philly's favor.
put him
And
on live.
he said, please put him on speaker. Can I put you on speaker for a second, Les? Hold on. I don't put nobody on speaker without them knowing it. He'll be like, he said, absolutely. Can you hear?
Well, I can't hear him.
Oh, he can't hear you. Wait a minute. Where am I?
Hold on. We're going to put Les Brown on, y'all. I've met him a few times when I was on a few different stations in Philly, and I just had the opportunity to be at an event that he was doing in Philly. I think it was last year.
Okay. Can you say something, Les? Can you hear him? You can't hear him?
Oh, I can't hear him.
Oh, they can't hear you. Yeah. I'll send you a link, Les, because I'm gonna send you a quick link. Because just come on, even if I don't show you, come on. Oh, I done hung up on the man. Lord have mercy. That's sick of me. Because let me send him this link right quick. I know I'm sad.
Absolutely. But
you don't get to talk to Dr. Les Brown that often, and then when you finally do, you better definitely glean from his brilliance. That's for sure. So I just sent him a link. He might be able to come on, and I'll cover his camera if he's in the middle of doing something. But okay, everybody. So we're talking here with Brother Marcus. We're talking with Brother Marcus here. And one of the things that you say, Brother Marcus, because I was looking at a quote, is we are who we are because of our experiences.
Yes.
But we don't have to stay there. And that's a direct quote from you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We are who we are based on our experiences, but we don't have to stay there. That's very clear. Where we develop these mindsets, attitudes, habits, or whatever from what we grew up around. Most of us are products of our environment. But as we grow up and we realize certain things need to be changed, certain things shouldn't be that way. We've gotten some learned behavior that we have to fix. And so we can do better, but we have to want to do better. And there are a lot of behaviors that are learned that need to be corrected. I'll give a prime example.
Yes.
When I was younger, there was a gentleman who had Down syndrome. Okay. And we used to play with him. We were kids, and his parents, he used to have this saying, and me and my sisters, we laugh about it today, but then we didn't know. Right. But he used to run around and he said, your mom's a pengy box, your mom's a pengy box. And we never understood what that meant. So I was like, one day I asked his father, and I was a kid. I said, what is he saying, your mom a pengy box? He said, your mom's on a pancake box. So, yeah. So he was a different culture than we were. But as kids, we laughed about it. Now we're just like, what? Are you serious? But so the things that we've learned in life that aren't right, we have to learn to fix them. And the racism is not something that is, you're born with racism. It's a learned behavior. So that's why I often said, we are who we are based on our experiences, but we don't have to stay that way. There's always room for change. So we have to be careful what we teach our children. You know what I mean? Absolutely. So yeah. But I mean, it doesn't. But I understood he had Down syndrome, so it didn't bother us because we get it. But
you asked for clarity so that you could understand what he was even saying, and so what he was saying was some mental conditioning that every mom's that's black anyway is on the pancake box is what he was saying.
Yeah, but but Scotty was still my friend.
Of course.
He was still my friend. I wonder where he is today. Because he lived a long time, but I wonder, that was many moons ago.
Well, anybody that knows where Scotty is, there is a request to find Scotty, and please let Brother Marcus know. He's everywhere on social media. So if you have a picture of Scotty or where he is in life, please make sure that.
Oh, I just want my $5. That's it.
And you know what? Lots of reunions happen. Steve Harvey's great at making some reunions happen. So who knows? The Kim Jacobs show might can make something like this happen too, right?
Right? But there's some people in life you want to leave them back there. Not everybody you want to you can be reunited with.
It's like, it's okay. It's okay. Let the past stay in the past. But I'm wondering, if there was any specific experience that happened in your life that made you make this quote a reality, where you were like, this makes me never want to stay in this experience.
Oh, man. It's so many. You know, when we're young, we do foolish things. We intertwine with the wrong type of people. Um, and as we grow, I don't want to say any particular thing, but you realize, like, man, I can't continue to do this or be this or act like, this is not, it's not beneficial to me mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, in any other way. So that's just something that, I kind of learned along the way. But, we're still growing every day.
Every single day. And if, as long as we all take this quote that he's sharing and say, okay, this is where we are, where we've been in the past, but it doesn't have to be our final destiny. And
Right.
again, in my philosophy anyway, this is where the world that we're living in, but we're just walking through it. We're being used on temporary assignment to pull as many people along as we can. And
Absolutely.
I believe you've been doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty much my life, just looking at my life and wanted to make some changes for the betterment. Are we perfect? Certainly not. But if we're open to grow and change, that's the most important thing. And not allowing other people to dictate how your life should be. And I have a saying that I say, don't let someone else's understanding of peace upset your peace and leave you in pieces.
Okay, you know what? You saying stuff. I gotta put you over here and put you front and center. Say it one more time. Once you take your sip of water, go ahead.
Don't let someone else's understanding of peace upset your peace and leave you in pieces. Boom.
That's a drop the mic moment, y'all. Don't let somebody else's understanding of peace.
Yeah, because everybody has a different understanding of peace. Some people's pieces, intertwine with drama and foolishness and whatever. Some people feel good when they can make you feel miserable, and true to form. I mean, I know a lot of people, but I don't have a lot of friends that I hang with and go out with. I don't do nothing. I don't do hanging out with people, and there's no shots fired at anybody. Because I just, at 54 plus tax.
Not the tax.
Yeah, gotta add the tax. But I just see things from a different perspective. I'll talk to people. People want to meet and greet and all that. I'm fine with that. Sign autographs, take pictures. All of those things are wonderful. But I don't have like homies where going out and doing stuff with and hitting the streets. Nah, those days are nah. So I keep my peace.
That's good. That's really good. You keep your peace and you're intentional about your space and how you govern yourself accordingly and protect your peace. I love that. I love that. And let's make sure, I don't want to be overlooking anybody in the studio audience. So if you have comments, make sure you type your comments, ask your questions while we have Brother Marcus on today. And I also wanted to find out too, because you were a substitute teacher, and I was wondering, back in the day when you, as a substitute teacher, did that play any key part to helping you transform to become who you are too as well?
I think it helped me. Yeah, I think it did, because I always wanted to help out the young people and get them early, even when I was, a substitute. I think that helped out because I was able to connect with them and allow them to see their choices and decisions early. Like what you do now, even though you're young, could affect the rest of your life. So, we have to be careful that we don't make life-changing choices based on emotion. Because when we do that, that's when you're dealing with a world of foolishness. I had to deal with something for, 20 years, you know what I mean? Because of something that I've done, you know what I mean? And I don't want people to have to carry unnecessary situations in their life if it can be prevented. But our young people have to listen. So me being in the classroom, that was great. That was great because unlike the teachers, and big shout out to all of the teachers, educators, principals, all of those who are doing the work of education.
Yes.
I tip my hat to you. But when you have somebody who's like me, I was very nomadic. So for me to just be a substitute was really better because the students would listen to me more.
You better believe it.
Because I would come in and I would just cook up the stew and step.
Right.
And for the most part, I mean, I there hasn't been any student that I've run into years later that hasn't, said that I did not impact their lives. You might come into a couple of rough ones here and there from, But we dealt with that too.
That's good. That's good. I love that. And I know with your show, it focuses heavily on inspiration as the undertone of it all. How is it that I'm trying to think of what made you have that be the focus of the show?
Oh wow. Well, okay. So let me give you the how that the
How
elements
the
of
show even
inspiration.
happened? Yeah,
Yeah.
because
So I'll tell you how all that happened.
okay.
There was a point in my life where I lost everything. You know, I was married before. You know, wonderful ex-wife. You know, 5 daughters with her. Wonderful. Everything was great. But I made some bad choices and decisions by just wanting to do something that she wasn't really connected to. Like I wanted to leave from New York to come to Jersey and all of
Okay.
that stuff. So when I got here, I realized that the choice that I made was the wrong choice, and I lost everything. I lost my family. I lost my house. I lost my cars. I lost money. I lost friends, so-called friends, everything.
So
And but even then, because I was always I was always in church, always had a relationship with the Lord. But this threw me off of my course, and it put me in a space and place that I was so unfamiliar with. So this is where I was like trying to pull myself together. And I remember I bought a Metro PC phone. No endorsement. Y'all not paying us, so I only say it once.
Yeah, it's like we need some kind of endorsement.
Right? So that's where everything changed. So I started making text messages to myself. And then one day I felt the urge, to send it out. So I sent it out to like 10 people.
Okay.
And I did it for like a week. And one day I just didn't send it out. And one guy called me. I'll say his first name. I won't mention his last name.
Okay.
But his name is William. And he said, hey, man, I need that word for the day. He was going through something. And I didn't know that I was really touching anybody.
Right.
It was only like 10, 15 people maybe. So I said, okay. I sat down, prayed about the message, and I typed it up, and then I sent it out to all the 10 people. There was a popular radio personality at the time who got wind of the message. And he called me personally, and he said, hey, where are you getting this message? Because whatever it was, it really struck a chord with him.
Right.
And he goes by the name of Pooch Man. He was on what is it? Radio. He was on Radio 1 in Philadelphia. And so he got wind of it, and he said, listen, I'm going to call you at the top of the hour, and I'd like for you to do this for my show. And I'm like, this guy likes to clown everybody. So I'm thinking, you're
not getting me on there, Pooch Man, right?
Yeah. So he contacted me at the top of the hour for his show, and he said, hey, man, what do you call all of this? And I was like, I don't know. I just said the elements of inspiration. I just threw it out there.
Right.
So he named me. He said, we have the good brother Marcus. That was my original name. He said, we have the good brother Marcus with the elements of inspiration. Go ahead, Doc. And that's where it all started. And so from that point, I adopted the elements of inspiration. And then years later, turned it into a business. But that was my first opportunity to change my life, because even though felt like I was out of space, out of place, because I lost everything, the only thing that I knew was something positive and inspirational. I only knew God. Like when all else failed, I just had God. So that's where it all kind of started from.
Wow. And so how important is it for somebody to believe in somebody else's dream? Because when you're talking about Pooch Man, I know that's, we're just saying him directly now, but he was the one that believed enough in your dream for it to become a reality. It takes you doing the work, but it takes somebody pouring into you and seeing the vision. How is that?
Yeah, it's very important, that that we have people that will see us. Sometimes people will see things in us that we don't see.
Right.
I was just doing it because I was doing it for myself, but he happened to notice it. So what I do now is
Pooch Man.
That's him.
Hey, Pooch Man.
Yeah, that's him. And I remember, what I do now is I look out for other people. If I see something inspirational, motivational, I'll reach out to people. Like on my show, I have a moment with the therapist because I believe in therapy. So, this young lady, I saw her, Dr. Tina Scott. I saw her on social media, and I liked what she did. And I inboxed her and I said, hey, I'd like to talk to you. And I guess she was probably like, man, what is, she probably knew who I was, but was like, what you doing? And
Why are you in
But
my
now,
DM, right?
yeah. So now she's with me. I also have a lot of other people that, because somebody extended an opportunity to me,
Mhm.
I try to do that for other people. Charmaine, I met her at an interview. They were interviewing me on like what you're doing.
Right.
And I happened to meet her, and there was something about her. And I said, hey, I need to talk to you. Now she's on my show. She's been with me for 3 years.
Yes.
And there's, brother, a message from Jamie Knight.
Okay.
She's a recording artist, and me and her got together, and I was like, listen, I would love for you to do a word with Jamie Knight. She's churchified with churchification, raw and real. So I have her. I have a lot of people that I just kind of say, hey, I like what you're doing. Bring it to the show. And I just added a DJ, DJ West Will. We met at an event, and I told him, I said, keep in touch. He talked. We, went back and forth about a few things. And I said, look, man, I know you're out here, and sometimes DJs don't get the credibility that they need.
Right.
So I'll tell you what, link up with me, and we'll figure something out for you. And that's what we've done. Now he does mixes for my show. And I also because of him, I created the Elements of Inspiration DJs, and we got 3 bookings for him in less than a day.
Look at God.
So it's all about helping other people. It's not about me, So, I just try to do things that's going to be beneficial, for everybody.
Well, I would kind of consider us twins in some regard, because I feel like it's my responsibility to solve and to really let my light shine like a city sitting on a hill. And even for people that may never read the Bible, they may never open the book at all. They should be able to look at my life and say, okay, what kind of God does that person serve? So that I can actually live similar to the values that they're serving. And so that's what I think of when I think of you, Brother Marcus. I feel like life is better as a result of people encountering you.
Yes.
I'm excited about that for you.
Yeah, I would like to believe so. And I always tell people, I am the element of inspirationalist. I believe it. When I walk into a, auditorium, or if I'm in front of, 10, 20,000 people, you will be inspired.
That's right.
Because this is, that's who I am. I had a great mother who really invested in me when I was younger. And sometimes the things that people do for you when you're younger, you never really pay attention. Because when I was younger, I used to go to speech classes. I had a slight stutter and stammer over my words, and I remember being in speech class, and that's where a lot of things changed. But my mother did something that was very important, and I never noticed it until later on in life. She bought me a microphone. She bought me a microphone because I used to be a rap artist. I wanted to be a rap artist.
Right.
She bought me a radio, and I never forgot that. And when I think about my life today, I talk on a microphone every day, and I'm on the radio all the time. You know what I mean? So she planted seeds that sometimes, people can see things that you don't.
That's right.
And my mother saw it. So she was always like, you need to get into acting. You need to go somewhere, and but she saw something. So I'm forever grateful.
I'm forever grateful too. And I think at least I'm the balance doctor. So what I do is I teach people how to balance different aspects of their lives, not being overwhelmed by life circumstances and situations, but knowing that they can get to the other side of the mountain. And everything that you are sharing is inspiring parents, people to know that there is a missing piece of the puzzle. And even through therapy, through counseling, through listening to wonderful radio podcasts or video podcasts, there are solutions in there that people's lives can be better.
Yeah.
And your mom saw something that you didn't even know was cultivating you and creating you to be who God ultimately purposed for you to be, which is the inspiration of element. And the element of inspirationalist is what you are, but the element of inspiration and Philly's favorite. I'm really excited. So Radio Boy, let's talk about Radio Boy.
Radio Boy. Oh man, there it is. Radio Boy. And it's funny. This is the first time I'm actually talking about the book in the public. I've written the book maybe about 9 months ago, 10 months ago, and worked all the details out, got a deal and stuff like that. The book is everywhere, but the book is really geared towards children from 0 to about 12 or 13, and it talks about communication, having a disability or a handicap, and it's like my story, and I just kind of made it very kid friendly, and so it's a very inspirational book where kids are going to be able to look at it and identify themselves and say, oh, because I might look a certain way doesn't mean I can't be successful.
That's right.
Or because I speak a certain way doesn't mean that I can't be successful. So this is one of those I call element of inspiration, quicker picker-uppers that will allow them to say, I can do it. If you can do it, I'm the one that couldn't even, talk with great clarity. And here I am on the radio.
God, look at God.
It's that handicap that many of us carry that's actually the gift.
You're gonna make me cry because I don't even consider, I'm supposed to be interviewing you. Here you are, you done got me toe down over here. You got me getting my cloth over here, Brother Marcus. No, seriously, because a lot of times you have people that look at a disability. I consider it a difference ability. And and God actually gave me 3 children that deal with this lung disease that is called cystic fibrosis. We'll talk about that. I know I'm coming on your show. We'll talk about that.
Absolutely. You coming on right after this.
So we'll talk about that another time. But here's the thing. I wonder what advice you would give to parents that are assigned to work with children that are, this is who God gave you to parent.
Yeah.
They're loaned to you while you're here on this earth. What advice would you give to parents that are dealing with children with disabilities?
Like you said, the world says disabilities, and maybe we need to correct that, but I call it supernatural abilities.
Yes.
They're the angels of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Real talk, true story. When people talk about autism, I say that they're the angels of the earth. These kids are taken care of, always well spoiled. They're like kings and queens and emperors because everything revolves around them. Yeah. So anybody who has, they say a child with special needs, I'll say unique needs. Yeah. Those are you have the biggest gift, more than what they say able-bodied children, so to speak. I don't know at this day and time, what does that mean, right? Right. I would say, remember the gift that God has given you. Cherish the gift that God has given you. And they could only be here for a few seasons. So we have to do our very best. Because you can have kids that can, what I say, the world says the normal kids, but they give you the most HE double hockey sticks. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that God has chosen those parents with these children for such a time as this, because there's a lesson in it. Sometimes we don't understand, the mind of God, because God has, he's an infinite being. His mind is infinite. We have finite minds. So it's hard for us to understand everything that God does. Like, why do I have to deal with this? Or why is my life this way? Yeah. There's a reason. And I don't know the answers, but I will say this: continue to do what God is calling you to do. Cherish what God has given you. The good days, the bad days, and everything else in between. You have to hold on and just say, God, I thank you. Because there are some people who will never be able to have children. That's right. But yet, you do. So it's
wow.
It is what God is allowing it to be.
You need to add preacher to your list of accolades, because you preaching the word of God and encouraging people. And even as you're encouraging people, you're encouraging young people, you're encouraging professionals, you're encouraging people from the faith audiences and all over the world. But yet you do it so, in my opinion, in a flawless manner. How do you do that where you're able to be so authentic and able to connect with each of these different entities and being almost like a chameleon?
Yeah, that part. I believe that, growing up, my mother always, told us to tell the truth.
Shame the devil. Don't get that part. You know that.
Yeah, be authentically you. Yeah. So you will never, see me out here lying about stuff, saying one thing and doing another. No, I'm going to tell you what it is, and I'm authentic about my approach. And it's funny how you said, hey, you seem like like a pastor, add pastor to, your resume. At one point in time, once upon a time, that was the goal.
Mm.
You know, I went to Seminary of the East, which is now, I think it's part of Bethel Theological Seminary,
Okay.
New York School of the Bible. I've studied Urban Academy. So I have like a couple of, diplomas and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I was ordained before, twice.
I see ordained minister when I was seeing that bio. I was like,
Yeah.
no, you ordained now. No, let's not get it twisted. This
Yeah.
man can break the word.
And it's funny because I don't, definitely not ashamed,
Right.
of what I know and what I believe and who I am. But I don't go around telling anybody, because the Bible, from a biblical standpoint, the Bible says they will know you by your fruit. Even young people will come up to me. This happened yesterday. I was at a school in South Jersey, and one of the kids came up and he said, "Are you a pastor?" And I didn't want to answer him because I believe the separation of school. I mean, state and whatever,
and all of that, right?
Yeah. So I was like, well, if you ask me after, I'll tell you, because I don't want to force what I believe.
Right.
Everybody, especially in those settings. But I've had a lot of young people come up to me and say, "Are you a preacher? Are you a pastor?" And when you say, "Am I like a chameleon?" In a lot of ways that I am. I've done trainings for certain companies where I would come in and train their staff, and people would look at me and say, "There's something different about this guy."
And that's
I know I'm a cut of a different breed. I know I'm different, not better than anybody. I'm just different. But I think I've come to the point where I have supernatural spiritual actualization, where I know who I am. And when I walk into a room, I know what I'm going to do, So, I hope that answered the question. I don't know if I did.
It definitely answered the question for sure. And it's exactly what I thought it was, is that you're ordained. And you're ordained by God. A lot of times people only think that the pulpit is where I'm actually a pastor. I don't know if you knew that about me, but I'm a pastor as well at a church called Promise Fellowship. Just recently started our church. But sometimes people only think that being in the pulpit is where you can preach the gospel. In these times, we need walking Bibles, as I've already said. And I believe that that's what you are, as an example of a walking Bible. With everything that's happening across the land, what is like a message that you really want to touch home with people about? Because it's not even a direct question. It's just a conversation. There's so much happening, so much chaos. And you have this level of peace and calm. You can even just see it around you. Like you said, you usually do the audio podcast, but people need to see you. I don't know if you need me to be your agent or what, but you need to come out from amongst them and let the world see you. What message give people today? A message of
hope. Watch and pray. Don't worry about anything. And I have this conversation with one of my sisters, and my younger sister, biological sister. Love her to pieces. And sometimes we have discussions about life and death, and she's more concerned about people getting saved, and I'm like, I'm with you on that. I absolutely believe it. I said, but I don't worry about those things. And she looks at me sideways, and I said, no. I'm not going to let my heart be troubled. I know that God has created a heaven and a hell. Somebody's got to go to heaven. Somebody's got to go to hell. Somebody's going. So I don't get upset or bent out of shape, because it's not for me to be worried about. Concerned, yes, but worry, no. So I would just say, we have to do our part in the vineyard. You can't try to plant the seed and do everything else and see it grow. Just plant the seed, keep it moving. And I never, again, force what I believe. My life should be the example or the sample of, what God is doing in my life, and hopefully somebody else will be able to see that. So I'm always my mother used to worry about a lot of things, and when I was younger, I'll never forget this. Now, again, as a kid, you don't know no better. And I used to see my mom always, worried about things. And I would say to her, I said, "Mom, don't worry." I said, "When I get older, Mom, I'm going to marry you." I didn't know you don't marry your mother.
Well, that's because that's your first true love, right? That's your mother.
Yeah. So I just wanted things to be better for my mom. And because she worried a lot, I decided as a young person, I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm just going to pray. And even as a child, I've learned how to pray and spend time with God. So it's nothing for me to sit and pray for a few hours. I often, try to say to folks, don't ask me to pray because we'll be here for a while.
You're going to be here for a minute.
Because
that was funny backstage when I did that longer prayer. And then you were like, okay, I'm just going to say this just to keep it short.
Well, yeah, because we'd have been like 30 minutes late. You would have been like, Brother Marcus, you ain't no good. I said, that's all the time you got. That's all the time we got. But I just don't want people to worry. The Bible tells us to watch and pray. And that's what we need to do. Watch and pray. And do not forsake the fellowship of believers. We need to share our burdens one with another. I don't know everything, and I'm not afraid to say I don't know everything. I only know what I know, but I got to continue to trust God for all the other things that I need to know.
That's good. That's some good advice. We know what we know. Trust God for the other things.
Yeah.
And worry, but make sure that we pray. These are all some great takeaways and tips, and I want you all to be capturing them in the studio audience. If you have any questions, I see you, Mom, out there too. She said, "Good morning, everyone." She wanted
Good morning, Miss Ella.
Miss Ella, that's my mama. You're talking about moms. I have a dream come true mother, and I've been truly blessed to have her by my side. She uprooted her life when my son passed and just came and helped our family. A lot of supportive people. And with you, Brother Marcus, you have people that have supported you on your journey.
Oh, yeah.
And anybody else you want to talk about that maybe, I know you talked about Pooch Man, anybody else? I don't want to deprive you of the opportunity to just share some things.
Oh, man. There's, you know what? It's just so many people, too many people to list.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to forget somebody. You know that.
I'm going to forget somebody. But, yeah, I've had, like, my family. That has been there supporting me. And I don't have any enemies or haters or anything, but I have some people that might not like what I do or the way that I do it. But I thank you too, because thank you.
Because we're starting a formal friendship here, or I might be one of those people that's on the outside. I don't know.
Listen, you are on the inside. Listen, trust and believe when I say you on the inside. We good. We are definitely good. I like your vibe. I like your spirit. And you're just so humble. Even when Les Brown called, you were just like, cool. You didn't panic and go crazy. And you were like, well, let's bring him into the conversation.
I know, but I can't hear how to get them into the conversation. I have an external mic over here, but anyway.
Don't worry about that.
You missed the moment. It's like, Lord, have mercy. But one thing that Les Brown often says is that sometimes you can't see yourself because you're in the picture frame. So a lot of times the people that are around us are the ones that can give us the good feedback. And I believe the feedback is the bloodline to champions. So over the years, people have given you advice, and then I'm hearing you give some good advice today too. How is it that you're able to merge all of this synergistically between the young people? Because it's very different advice that you have to give the young people versus the older people. But it seems like your advice is universal. And I know I understand what you're saying and what we were just talking about, but I think that that's a gift. So I'm trying to figure out how you really merge that. Well, being your authentic self. Is that is the answer?
Well, I think that's it right there as well. Is never think that you're bigger than you are.
That's good.
And always notice the audience that you're speaking to. Always pay attention to the audience that you're talking to. If you're speaking to young teenagers, you got to curve it a little bit. If you're speaking to little children, you're speaking to seasoned folks. You just got to know the dynamics. But sometimes they can all be in one room at one time. And once you kind of notice what kind of audience you have, then you'll know what to do from that point. And everything that I do, I have to trust God for everything, because I just have to. When I go doing speaking engagements or traveling, I don't want to know too much about where I'm going. I just want to be able to come in, look at the audience, and just do. There was the one time I was invited to to go to a church and speak, and I told them I don't want to know anything about what's going on with whatever.
Right, none of the behind the scenes drama.
Because then my message seems very authentic, and I just went in and said what needed to be said, and that was it. I wasn't invited back, but.
You're so crazy. You like?
I mean, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't horrible. It's more like, I'm gonna say what the word says.
Right.
I'm gonna say what the word says. But I will say this. One of the things that I remember saying at this particular church, because remember, you're dealing with different dynamics, the young people and seasoned folks. And I looked up and I said to the young ladies, and I said, young ladies, I'm going to tell you this. Young ladies, keep your skirts down. Brothers, keep your zippers up. And everybody was like, oh, and I said, that's all I got to say. Somebody told me that years ago. And matter of fact, that was in, what was the name of this church? But anyway, it was a female speaker who said that. It was like, I don't know what was happening in the church, but she turned to all of the young people and she told us that. And I missed that message. Over the, like as a kid,
Yeah, right. You're like, oh man, I didn't hear what she said. I didn't
listen. You hear it, but you didn't listen.
Right.
So, but I often just try to speak the truth, but speak it in love. You don't have to, yell out anything crazy. Just be relatable. I think that's what people really need, is people that are in these positions to be approachable. Like when I first met Patti LaBelle, and it was ironic. She was coming out of the Trump Towers. This is years ago, 20 years ago. And I was walking and she had security and I was like, how you doing, Miss LaBelle? And she came over and put her hands on my face. How you doing, baby? And I never forgot that. She treated me as if she knew me, asked me, how is my mom and all of this. And I realized it's how you treat people.
That's right.
So I always try to treat people with love and give them advice when needed and necessary. And that's it.
And that seems to really work. And so if y'all are not hearing anything else on this broadcast today, treat people the way you want to be treated, show people love, wait and know that the Lord is in control and that he got everything worked out the way it's going to work out. And this anomaly is who he's using to make major waves throughout the world. So I'm really grateful. I want to put up some stuff about your music here. Talk to us as well about this. You already like the magazine cover, but talk to
well, this was okay. Most of a few of my records that I made, I don't write a lot. I just produce the track and put the headphones on and I just go. So this song, Nice to Know, I never wrote it. I just sang it off the top of the head, and that was it. But it was a simple song, just saying it's nice to know that you are here with me. Yeah. It's nice to know that we are so happy. And it's a song to me and God, like it's just nice to know, something very simple, and it has like a Caribbean flavor to it.
I saw you ready to vibe with it over there. I was listening to all of your music. It's it's a mix almost between like a love song.
Right.
Is what I walked away with a lot of your music. And I knew it wasn't your original music, but it's you putting some different components to it. And I love the vibe, all of it.
Yeah. I just, for me, I think when I was younger, being a rap artist, I was able to put words together and, be very quick in my thoughts. So like my last several records, I don't sit down and write and all of this. I just kind of just sing from what's on the heart. Even this one, I did a remix to an original record that I did. And this is the acoustic version of it. And I just sang it off the top from my heart. I didn't write it. I just put the headphones on and, just saying, Lord, I love you. So, you know what I mean? And that's just how I felt. And I did it in one take. So most of my records I do in one take. That's
and that right there is a major accomplishment. To do it in one take really means that you're in your authentic self. It is what it is. That's what I tell people when they come on the show. We are not going to be editing this. So just
I know, right?
we going. We're having a conversation. If it's any bloops and blunders, shoot. I said CNN, different ones have bloops and blunders and they keep right on going. They don't edit it. They keep it. And so that's so you do your music, you did it in a take. It's from your heart, your authentic self. Yeah. And it's out there. And what's been the response to some of these?
It's funny because I don't promote my music, and I don't perform my music.
Right.
I think it goes back to when I was younger, wanting to be a rap artist. That's really how I started getting into the business as a rapper, right? Signed my first record contract when I was 18. Don't Sweat on Records, Maureen Llewellyn in Willingboro, New Jersey. They believed in me. And that's kind of like how I started. But with life and things that happen in life, and having a family and children, sometimes you can't do those things.
That's right.
You have to work.
Yeah.
You have to get a job. You have to, take care of, these little people financially, if nothing else, financially. And so I think in the last several years, my kids are, most of them all grown now. I started just doing what I always wanted to do, and that was just make records. So now I have a record company. I put a few artists out, but now I just make records because I can.
Just because you have the time. You say you spend a lot of time in your studio.
Yeah.
You come in, you give us a day, what it looks like for you in the studio.
Wow. A day of the element of inspiration.
Yes, please.
Get up about 4:35 in the morning, 4:30 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I spend about an hour and a half praying and getting myself together and, things of that nature. Then I'll arrive at my office around 7:45. 6:45, no later than 7. And I'll come in, I'll record an element of inspiration, quicker, picker, upper. I'm going through my emails, who's looking to book me and returning phone calls. And then I might schedule out some interviews. And then I have to see if I have any appointments or appearances that day. And then I have to sit down and I talk to my web designer, I talk to my accountant, and I speak with them regularly, And so we just try to make sure that everything is running right, because I don't have a huge team. I don't have a booking agent. I don't have a manager. I don't have bodyguards or anything. So my days are very interesting, to say the least, but I'm always working. Now, I will say this. There was a time when I started, I was taking like 3-hour lunch breaks because I left what I was doing to do this.
Right.
Taking 3-hour lunch breaks and, having what I call power meetings. And
right. You're like, this ain't no empowerment meeting.
I'm spending money, wasting time. And
waste the time.
Yeah, some things had shifted. And I'm like, where are all these bills coming from? So, Dr. Smith, who got involved and said, wait a minute, brother. And her, and the accountant.
Is that the accountant?
Oh no, Dr. Smith is the wife. The accountant is Mr. Purnell.
But Dr. Smith is the wife.
Yeah.
So she's like, we're gonna manage this a little bit better around here, right?
Yeah. So my schedule is they got me tight, like from 7 in the morning, like scheduled out and all of this stuff. But I get it, and it actually works because I'm a free-spirited person. Like I'll just but I realized that wasn't working. But once I got like focused again, I was able to pick up a lot of things. And I'm one who has to, I can see something and make it happen. I don't want to say I make it happen, but it happens. Right. And I realized one of my gifts is whatever I think I have to do, as long as it's not hurting anybody and it's not, you know what I mean?
That's it. I agree with you. So you're salting the earth, leaving no stone unturned. Absolutely.
And for example, I think I was telling you about when I was talking with a DJ a couple of weeks ago, and he was trying to get some work and everything. And all of a sudden we talked. I had him do a mix for the show, and I had an idea: create the Elements of Inspiration DJs, where I would contract DJs. And all of a sudden I did it. I put it together, and he's got 3 bookings, and like immediately. Right. So even when I wrote the book, Radio Boy, I sat down, thought about it, and I just did it. There it is. So everything for me, what I realized, what's a true skill is whatever comes out is what it is. Even with the records, I don't write them. I'll have concepts in my head, but I just do it. And so I'm very good at that. I can go and speak at places without a script. Like let's say you have something going on, and I say, well, just give me a theme that you guys want to go with.
Yes, Les Brown is very gifted at that too.
Yeah, and I could just go. If there are certain points that I need, I might write words down, but I don't sit there and read a script. I don't like to be read to. So I know people don't like to be read to either. So, but I just realized as I'm getting older that my gift is just natural, just to be able to just do and see how things, just pan out well. But to answer your question about the records, how do people view them? I think people are like, Okay, but I don't push it like I'm a singer because I'm really not a singer.
Right. You just sing from your heart.
Yeah, I just do. I just do it because I can.
That's good. And I want to make sure we talk about it's your brother talking, Brother Marcus, the
Oh,
Elements of Inspiration podcast. How do people check out this podcast, and what's the message that you want people to walk away with when they're tuning in?
wow. Well, I think the core thing for the elements of inspiration is just being inspired. Like I have what I call the element of inspiration picker picker uppers. Those are, short themes and thoughts that I just share, whether it's dealing with, how you can do better. If you knew more, you do more, like little things like that. Then I interview celebrities, DMC from Run DMC. He's been on here. A lot of other people. You're going to be on there. You're another celebrity. Kim Jacobs is going to be on. So I just like to share people's stories, and not just, how you get some people on and they just start talking about their success and how wealthy they are. I get it. But I
Right.
want to talk about who you are, the essence of who you are.
Right.
Why do you think the way you do? Why do you do what you do? And how can other people be inspired? So that's what the elements of inspiration is really all about, just to uplift and encourage people to believe in themselves and to, be uplifted and don't worry about anything, but live your life.
That's good. Well, I'm a solution provider, so I'm trying to figure out how to get this speaker thing over here to work too, because I'm that person that just procrastinates less. I'm gonna try one more time to see if I can get you on the speaker before we end this show, right? Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can make it work. I think I had the volume down too low before.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Are you able to say something, Les?
Yes, well, the question is, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear him, but he's low.
Yeah. Yeah, no matter how you slice it, it's like, I don't know what to do about it. Okay.
Let's see, you press the speaker?
I pressed the speaker, but I can't get it to, and you can't click on the link to come on and just let us hear your voice because you'll be right on the show.
I'm on the phone now. You're saying
we can hear him.
There's a link. If this link that I just sent you right quick, I'm gonna send it to you. If you come on, I won't show your face because I know you're in the middle of whatever you're doing, but I can put you, hold on, I'm gonna put you, if you just come on this link right here, click on it. I won't put your face up here. I'll just hear you have your voice pulled in, but don't show your mic. Okay. Click on that link, Les. Not like I'm being your parent. I'm not trying. Lord have mercy. I'm not being disrespectful.
come on, please.
He said, "Come on, please, Kim, stop playing." He's so serious, right? And you're on the live show. He
To put in fill username.
Yes.
I need to come on down to South Carolina,
Charlotte, North Carolina is where I am. Yes.
Oh, North Carolina. Okay.
Yes. So now I saw some other image back here. Tell us about this picture while he's clicking.
Oh my goodness. That was on when I was on drugs. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're such a comedian. Okay.
that was I was at a Hezekiah Walker concert.
Okay.
And so I was hosting for Camden, New Jersey. And you might have some pictures of me on stage and different. That was when I was in Philadelphia. I think that was at the Lear Center. It was like thousands of people there, and I was hosting a concert.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been on many stages.
I can tell. And I think that I really like is I like the fact that you are inspiring people to not make excuses, but it sounds like literally just making results in your life. And that's something that Les Brown talks about often, is that just you literally just march to a different type of drum.
Yeah, my mother, in the beginning, she didn't really care for that because when I was younger, I could have got a record deal. But I wanted to do things my way. And so my friends, one of them, matter of fact, two of them have done very well in the music business. So, and I never made it to that level, but that's because I wanted to do my own thing, bounce
Right.
to the beat of my own drum,
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So did you get to click on that link, Les?
I did. It's not a simple process. More information.
Oh, okay. Let me plug this one thing in and see if I can get you on here. Hold on. I'm just going to put it on here on this microphone. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no, this is cool. I'm glad that we're here, everybody, on the Kim Jacobs show. And she's talking to the Element of Inspirationalist. And on the phone, we have Mr. Brown, Les Brown. We're going to see if he's going to come on with us and talk to us. Very inspirational. Been around a few times.
All right, I'm putting you on here and see if this speaker works better now. Now see if you could say something, Les.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Can you hear him?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Okay. No, I don't know. I put a different mic on.
You know, let's work out the mechanics and give me an advance notice. So
Well, I appreciate your willingness to oh, here it is. It built in.
Oh, we got it now.
All right. Well, anyway, he can hear you, but the rest of the people couldn't hear you. So, but you could hear him, right?
Yeah, I can hear him. If I can hear him, they can hear him.
He could hear you, but the rest of the community couldn't hear you. So I don't.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Les, for your willingness to. He said, I want to be on here with you, but.
Come on.
Well, you know what I'm going to do? I can put it where nobody can see you. I'm just going to put it where at least. Oh, okay. Okay. Take care, Les. Thank you for your willingness. I appreciate it. Love you. Bye-bye. So he usually has somebody that helps him backstage to do. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. Mm-hmm.
Let me go back to the default.
I can definitely hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. And the speaker. Right. And let me go here. All right. Speaker is default. Okay. There we go. All right. He like, girl, let's do a training first before we go back and try to do that.
Nah, it's all good. I'm just
well, anyway, any closing comments that you have at all?
Well, as I say on the radio, be blessed, stay blessed. You're blessed, God bless. That's it.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay, I just can't because I done mess with all the microphones and I'm the one that trained people on how to start their own shows from scratch around here. So I'm like, oh Lord, okay, I should have just kept everything as is because I was trying to change the mics around to make it user-friendly for less. But anyway, I'm really glad that you have been on the Kim Jacobs show today, and I believe that lives are better as a result of what they've experienced. Everybody that's in the comment section, I just want to say thank you. I thank you so much for being here in the studio audience. Delwar, I see you. I saw all of you that have been commenting, and I see you, Charmaine, and saying that you are loved by many, Marcus. Brother Marcus, everybody in the world loves you and appreciates you and celebrates you. And so we're really glad for the message that you have. Is there anything that you didn't get a chance to say on this broadcast today that you really want to leave people with, especially just a message of hope across the land?
I love Jesus. Boom.
Boom. There you have it. All right, everybody. Make sure you all stay connected with Brother Marcus. And how can they do that?
They can follow me on, just go to www.bromarcus.com. or Bro Marcus on Instagram or X, or just I'm Googleable. So Brother Marcus, Elements of Inspiration. You can follow me.
There you have it. All right, everybody. And so listen, please continue to tune into the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. That's Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I do want to invite you to make sure that you tune in to I really want everybody to know that we have a 5K walk coming up on October 18th. And that's in honor of my son that transitioned from this earth. And it's very important to me. It's a 10-year mark of him being passed away and due to sudden cardiac arrest. So I really want people to come out to be a part of the 5K walk on October 18th. And if you are an organization that would like to receive a defibrillator, we're going to be giving one away because we think that every organization should have a defibrillator on hand. And that's what we raise a lot of our funds for. So make sure that you look at this weekend of celebration that's coming up. And we ask that you be able to learn more at gabesheartfoundation.org. All right. If all minds are clear. All minds are clear. All right, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you backstage, Brother Marcus. And thank you all for tuning into this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Love you all. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Brother Marcus. Philly's favor, God's favor. That's what it is. God's favor is all over your life, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank y'all for tuning in. I love you all and see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of The Kim Jacobs Show and for being in the virtual studio audience. Your presence truly does make a difference. And I look forward to you bringing your friends and family to join you in the virtual studio audience Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you and make it a great day.